I see you in everything. I see you in everything. I see myself in your eyes. I see you in everything. I see you in everything. I see myself in your eyes. I see you in everything. I see myself in your eyes. I see you in everything. I see myself in your eyes. I see you in everything. I see myself in your eyes. I see you in everything. I see myself in your eyes. I see you in everything. I see myself in your eyes. I know what place where I wanna go. Could you just stay by my side? It'll be alright. I wanna taste of the other side. It just took me some time to realize. I wanna go, I wanna fly, I wanna take myself to a new sky. I wanna live, I wanna die, I wanna thank myself for getting out. Take me to a new place. Take me to a new I know a place that I wanna find. Could you just open your eyes and free your mind? I wanna face what I haven't tried. It just took me some time to realize. I wanna go, I wanna fly, I wanna take myself to a new sky. I wanna live, I wanna die, I wanna thank myself
What's up, guys? How we doing? All right, it is a beautiful day. Tuesday. Yeah. Oh, no. I love Tuesdays. Just because I'm a fat ass and I like tacos. And it's another excuse. Thank God for America. We have another excuse to have tacos. We just have to make up a day for it, which is sick. I'm always for it. Even though I probably have it half the days I'm a week anyways, but I'm with it. So let's hit some take profits so they come at a profit. But we got the market here giving us some opportunities, and let's make the most out of it. So grateful, y'all, that we get to be here, that we live in a time where we just click a couple buttons and we can produce an income. It's kind of ridiculous. If we were to talk to our forefathers about this, just comical in what we're able to do right now. I know many are in the pursuit of greatness in this profession, and so let's continue to do so. All right, so remember to trade. Be present when you're trading. Trade the setup in front of you. That's it. All right, that's it. Don't go worried about nothing else. Okay. So let's see what the market has in store for us. Let me start sharing screen here, and we can kick things off. But grateful that we're breathing, grateful that we're trading, and honestly that we're here. We got the gang. Ben Franklin would implode. All right. Morning, Nick, Maury, Jeff, Joe, Vaughn. Hello. Good day. ¿Cómo estamos? Leo, Seth, what's up, brother? Brandon, Corey, Silver Shakeout from Market Open yesterday. Yeah, we can talk about that in a bit. Buenos dias, Alfredo, Patrick, Savia, Maria Lisa, Isaiah was good, dog. Vaughn, all right. Grand Rising. Zadinho. Oh, we got a little switch up. Zadinho. All right, let's get it. I'm gonna say, guys, I'm a bit bummed right now. I've been waiting for this Dow order block higher time frame play right here, and it just missed me. So kind of a bummer over here, but we did get a rejection just a bit above this zone. The way I drew it up here, it did miss, so maybe there's still a chance. Maybe there is still a chance and we get the rejection. I'm going to go back and double check this idea here. What's up? Yuleta. Dímelo, baby. But yeah, this sell-off really kicks off. You see it start to push here, and then you have the final move really happen like right there. So this is where I had mine marked up, and I'm going to hold on to this one. I like what we got going on here. So I think it's still a possibility here for Dow, for MYM. I think we can get over to this area. Let me see. Right over here. So I'm going to stand by it. I'm going to see if we can get locked in here. And then our entry is closer to this 53,365 range. So right over here, like right there. Let's see what we can get happening here. Medellin, yo, sick. Love Medellin, one of my favorite cities in the world, for sure. Perfect weather. All right, so indices, guys, have been crashing. Funny enough, yesterday we marked up this zone for sells on indices. Not only did Dow mitigate this zone, but so did NQ. And not only did NQ reject this, but it just kept on crashing from this area. Yeah, didn't trigger me in, nor were either of them active. It was kind of confusing because of price action. So I just didn't end up doing anything there. But right now, we're closest to buys with Dow. If you're looking for, so I'm gonna start across the board. I'm just gonna go and look for where I think price is the closest, and then I'll give you guys perspective on if I like buys or sells and kind of what we got going on from that point of view. But NQ still pretty bearish, and it looks like it maybe wants to push to this zone down here. We saw the market take out the lows before the continuation in this area, so I do think we can get to reversals around here. However, NQ definitely has the most bearish momentum right now, so I'm very okay with just kind of waiting and not necessarily tackling this one on. Maybe we see NQ and Dow get to reversal areas at the same time. Now, the reversal zone that I have for Dow over here is because this was the last sweep to the downside before we have an absolute massive push to the upside. And so if I show you from this point of view, maybe the 4 hour, maybe looks a little cleaner. Here, this lures in sellers one last time before we have 1,500 points of bullish price action. That's why I do see a lot of power in the reversal right here. I think that we can definitely get that right there. So I'm going to be taking a swing at the market when we get to price around here. And we have New York open here in just a couple of minutes. So honestly, I am going to set this up right away. So I'm going to have this already ready here. So you'll see my limit here dialed in. Then that brings us to S&P. Now, here is where things get a bit more interesting. S&P has been working its way down and down and down. And it's trading, honestly, a lot different than both Dow and NQ. So I'm going to show you a couple things here. But S&P, NQ right now is trading towards this low from August 11th, so last Tuesday. So 7 days away. S&P, on the other hand, is below all of this. If you notice, S&P already took out the liquidity over here, and S&P is kind of, if you ask me, it's kind of giving the shake out energy. I don't know, what do y'all think? S&P takes out the lows, right? These are swing lows. There's a lot of liquidity sitting at these levels. So this gets swept. Price then starts to work its way up here. So we take out these lows. We're kind of chopping up. We're still chopping up here. And we start to work our way down. So I'm going to be real. This might be it right here. This last dip that we just saw, where I'm 2 minutes late here, that could have been it. Genuinely, this working its way down to right there, that really might be the case. So really take your pick here. What do you see with S&P here? Is this the reversal? Is this the beginning of that? Which it very much could be. So I see it. Otherwise, I would go for a buy, maybe closer to like right cracking these lows and have something over here. So S&P shakeout looks pretty solid to me. And then continuation, obviously this I think at least would take out these highs. I mean, if you wanted to keep it conservative, taking out these London highs over here, that would do the trick. So I guess we'll see here. I guess we will see. It's New York open now, so starting to see some movement. We got Dow working its way down. A lot of momentum to the downside. Here we go. All right, so Dow just triggered me in. See if I get a reaction there. And then S&P here. So I'm taking my swing at both, actually. Slightly different setups. No, don't move so fast. All right, let me lock in here, and let's go. We're in there. So willing to see both play out here. Shakeout for S&P, and then we got mitigation for Dow, possibly. So let's see it through. S&P holding up significantly better here. So look at how S&P reacted and then starting to push over to here. So great rejection. You see how we pushed down and immediately reversed? I'm now going to tighten my stop with S&P here. All right. So I'm reducing my risk with S&P. This is a 3.33R trade here. So S&P at least giving me some love. Is Dow Jones doing the same? Dow also starting to react out of the zone and aggressive movement. I'm also reducing my risk here with Dow. All right. So at this point in time, we see some pretty good movement, good reversals. S&P pushing even further here. Going to the, I just want to see kind of how we're moving. Big spike down. At this point, a 1.5R coming all the way back to reduce risk doesn't really make sense to me, so I'm going to reduce a little bit more here based off of this last 5-minute or 5-second order block right there. So that's pushing nicely. I have London highs right there as a target. And then Dow not as bullish, right? It's not screaming as aggressively as we're seeing Dow. So I'm going to tighten up a little bit more here, considering we're not getting the same type of aggressive movement. And then looking at NQ, right? NQ kicked things off more bullish from the beginning. Off the rip, NQ kind of had the biggest movement here. So let's see. Where did NQ go to before making its move? So NQ kind of rejected just some random structure, actually. So I don't know. NQ starting to melt down. Dow holding structure decently. And then, man, S&P crashing back down right away. So great movement. Fill the imbalance. Stop is in a little bit of drawdown still. So this might not be enough to continue the movement, but we at least got a good reaction. So, which is why I'm willing to lose a little bit to give the market a chance to, work around. When the market pumps and dumps like this, typically I don't have the most confidence in the structure anymore. So I'm kind of like, at peace with this trade losing, to be fair. There we go. So small stop for me. That went from a 1.5R all the way back to a little bit more, maybe like 1.75R, back to a losing trade. Dow still holding on, and then NQ now making lower lows. So, let's see what we got. Dow still in play here for me. And then S&P, I feel like maybe it survives. I'm not sure. But anyways, at the end of the day, I'm trading the injection of money coming into it. So this was decent. If I was going to be a very conservative trader, trading within this imbalance and taking the profit, that would have been it. So actually, this hit a 2R. Oh, nice. So, that maybe plays out. Maybe not, right? Either way, still got Dow here. Let's see what it wants to do. Did anyone take any of these, Dow or S&P? And, ES holding down. Dude, no way. So I went and reduced to here instead of just keeping my low there. And then this is doing a pretty good job of holding it down. So that's going to be a bummer. If that ends up playing out, yeah, that's going to be lame. NYM stayed out. Yeah, it was really fast to go both. So split them. Took gold. Nice. Fuck. S&P. You dog. All right, silver took out. Oh, I didn't look at metals here. Silver took out Tokyo low and then is ripping right now. Okay, nice. Gold a bit more of a lead there. So gold had a nice push to the downside. I didn't have any buys set up here at all. Yesterday we got the rejection out of here that mitigated. And then I thought we had already seen the push down from right here. But great movement. So you might have a setup. You might have a different setup on metals kind of loading up here. And then let's see if Dow wants to throw us a bone. Come on, man. Throw us a little bone over here. So regarding, I guess, exits here with Dow, London high for sure is a great exit right there. 2.3R, book that. No problem. Maybe some of you guys had a tighter stop. I had my stop a little bigger because I was comparing this to how it traded with YM. YM had a bigger wick down than MYM did. So I did have a bigger stop here than what we had from the past. But yeah, I mean, with that being said, I guess right now, first target would be the London high here from Dow. If you do think we can go target New York highs, then obviously we're game here. I think that because we saw, we're trading out of this order block, and S&P over here looks to me like it liquidated the highs, and then this could also start to push even higher. I think we're overall getting a shift on a bigger time frame. So I am open to seeing this trade kind of work its way through and, do its thing. So that's why I am open to holding a little bit more because of the bigger context here. I wanted to give this trade. Part of me is give this the full zone to work with here. Instead of just this little 5-second dip down that we had here. It was a little push there. But right now, what has more momentum on the reversal side is NQ. NQ and ES are definitely pushing a bit stronger. So we'll see. What definitely is just cruising, though, are metals right now. Metals are big chilling. Between silver and gold about to take out London highs here. So this is setting up for a textbook mitigation in the future. As long as this holds up over here, then yeah, it's looking pretty much on point. But will it, is the question. Still in ES and waiting for it to sweep London high. Sick. Yeah, I mean, honestly, looking back, my true stop management rules would have been to keep this stop right there. So I really should have still be in this trade. But, I wanted to get all creative and go, let's look at the 5-second order block here. And, so this would have held. A bummer, but it's what I get. It's what I get. I got a little cocky over here. But all right, well, we're seeing Dow move on up here. If we break above this high right here, so if we do break above here, then I'm going to reduce my stop a bit more as well. You can always get in with double lots. You're toxic, bro. Come on now. If I had further confirmations for something, then maybe. But that's something that actually I don't do, which I'd say that is an additional element to continuing to build the game here, like getting better and better, is like learning when to stack when the market is going in your favor. Like when is it that you should add size to it because it's it's starting to go in your way. That's something that for me I've only ever treated it as individual setups. Like I've never really traded where like, all right, the market's going in my favor, let me just trade it based off of price action or whatever. So yeah, that's not one that I really do, but right now we have a bit more and more proof that, for example, indices overall just look like they want to continue bullish, and Q has more momentum. So, taking, for example, one of these and adding to the order, like I could see why you would want to do that, but I just don't have a system to stack on to an already trending idea. So we'll see, guys. We'll see. All right. So Dow starting to get into flow here, about half hour up. We're up right now. So a good, 40 points or so in profit, 50 points in profit. Meanwhile, we have silver just take out, or gold took out London highs. Silver is trying. Silver here lagging behind. Gold already trading up here. So for these buys later, yeah, this would be nice. Can gold go to new higher highs? Eventually, sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Yeah, I think eventually you could definitely see gold at higher highs, for sure. Right now, I would want to see, for example, I want to see if gold's going to maintain these highs. Like, are we going to get gold to even trade over here? So, but I think we're switching over contracts soon, right? Going like oil, silver, and gold are going to start to do their thing. I know. Let's see. All right, guys. So we're getting pretty good movement with Dow here. Dow is starting to push even higher. So I am going to start tightening up my risk or my stop here a bit right here. Got a nice big push into this imbalance. Good, just very efficient trading. And then we're getting the continuation. So now my risk is very minimal. If I were to lose, it's a very small amount. And then now we're sitting at about a 1 hour. So yeah, market's trading nicely over here. London highs is the first target. And what we will notice here, whoa, NQ just crashed. This structure right here, so NQ, I mean, it was pushing really well, but obviously is losing a lot of momentum. To be fair, right now, overall, like if we're looking at NQ's London high was around 2:05 a.m. And then Dow actually gave another push even higher a little bit later in the session, which was around here, around 5 a.m. So honestly, now Dow had a rougher start, but it's holding up much better now. Structure is staying here, solid, and while NQ and ES are starting to dip off again. So now it looks like we're actually in the best case scenario with Dow here. So see how this rolls. In a good place here. Hey, put some W's in the chat if you're up. Holy cat blocks. Testing July is high. Gold is already on December contract for sure. Okay, sweet. Can you 3R on YM? Very nice. W's, sick. Beautiful. Love to see it. Okay, sweet. So metals switched over. There's more volume for oil now on CLV. I feel like these just switched over. Is it just me, or is the frequency of how often contracts switch on oil and metals more often than indices? I feel like that's got to be the case. All right, so let's get these new contracts in here. CLV. Oil's like monthly. Yeah, so having more volume doesn't mean that the contract already expired. So the contract will expire on a certain date, but there normally, actually almost every time, there's more volume starts to switch over to the other one faster. So yeah. Just because it didn't expire doesn't mean that there's not a lot of volume there. Interesting. So gold already crashing. Huh. Okay. Meanwhile, Dow's like, what's up? We up. All right. So well over 1.5 R right now with Dow. It's trading along super well. Starting to take out New York high. So the New York Open has been swept here. I will now move my stop into some profit over here. So at this point, I don't want to give back 1.5 R. That to me doesn't really make sense. So, or more than that, right? So I'm going to start inching my way up here into some profit. We have a bunch of liquidity here that can get swept. Got this trend line liquidity and just the highs from London session. So we're currently sweeping above all of that. Very nice, very nice. Meanwhile, MNQ holding up. I think I don't see how NAS. I could see NAS at least taking out these highs, like this structure, to play into here. And then you have S&P that should, I feel like, take out at least London highs. So if the markets want to continue to the downside, that would be, which is fine, but that could be the case. So let's see here. All right, so yeah, guys, if you want to switch your contracts over, yeah, go and check out, at least for oil, switching them over to CLV and MCLV. And then regarding metals, we're going from GCZ and moving on to, hold on. Are metals changing? GCZ still has the most volume for me, based on what I'm seeing here. Maybe it was just silver. Maybe not. I don't know. Someone let me know. That way I can just keep an eye on the charts. Indices every 3 months. Oil is monthly. Yeah. Were you waiting for more confirmation on the silver and gold mitigation buys? For sure. This is For me, this gold breaking above is absolute trash. I mean, it stays above for like 2 seconds. So I'm not trading that. I'm not trading this at all. That's just not my confirmations. Market gets above the high for like a seconds, and then it literally drops back in. So this is by no means bullish at all. Silver, same thing. This is absolutely terrible. This is what's taught. If I have the biggest disagreement with smart money traders, it's this. It's that just because the price breaches a high doesn't mean that it's changed the direction, the trend. This is only, which is kind of funny because this kind of, to me, it liquidates. It takes out highs for people that are looking for the good old break of structure. So this looks to me more like a trap than anything else. So yeah, nothing for me here. If anything, we could maybe even see like sells from over here. But yeah, nothing to trade there. Yesterday we had gold sells here, and the market was just a little shy. Rejected off of this, came back up during Asian session, and then I had an entry up here. I had a feeling this was just an order block rejection, but either way, it missed me regardless. So it is what it is here. Okay, so let's talk about oil, yeah. So for oil has more volume flowing, and you guys can look at this chart here. You can see now CLV has more volume running than CLU. Okay. And you know what's really interesting is there's a lot of volume. There's actually more volume in CLX, and almost the same with CLZ over here. So this is a surprising amount of money for swing trades. That's interesting, actually. It's very interesting. So there's some long-term trading that's going on right now with oil, for sure. You see how like this would expire in a month, 2, 3. So there is some confidence with oil in long-term directions right now. That's really interesting. Old Trump Jr. maybe? Huh? Well, okay. Anyways, so looking at I picked the wrong CLV here. I put 2027 oil. Might be. Okay, so can we see sells, right? That's what someone just asked me with oil. You saw it take out London high. So you get a nice sweep of the high. The market comes crashing down. Takes out all these retail buyers from the last couple hours. Trades into this last little push down, rejects this. So would I sell oil here? I would not. I know it looks enticing, but it's not my trade. This working its way down and immediately right back up. This to me looks like the push down was just to take out another batch of buyers before it wants to rally. So if anything, I actually think this is going to end up probably moving up. Like I think if it dips down, it'll probably end up making another high anyways. So So no sells from me. NQ now, whoa, absolutely just crashing down to this level over here. Now, I had a reversal setup over here with NQ. This was from, you guys, I think, should be able to see this one pretty easily. Big sweep down, continuation. So I actually had a setup here from long ago. So yeah, this is the trade that I was waiting for over here. Considering how bearish this has been, NQ has been, understand why you'd be a little bit more careful with taking a position here. However, this is trading completely different price action. Like, we're in a completely different area. So if I were to get a deeper retracement, I would be open to a buy here with NQ, even though it's been really, really bearish. But it looks like it didn't even want to do a full retracement. It kind of just tapped into where smart money came in and then was like, all right, let's just start ripping now. And this should help YM's cause too. So this mitigating here, I think, will overall push the entire market forward. And since we're now trading a higher time frame, like this is a 1 hour pullback. So here's the higher low, the higher high, guys. This is the 1 hour structure. So if NQ just fulfilled its 1 hour retracement and is gonna now, slingshot forward, the entire market should more than likely keep doing the same thing. I mean, S&P still is surviving this chop. So now that NQ is on the full retracement, YM is still very bullish. Yeah, I think we got the lows of the day, and that's my mindset right now. I do think we got the lows of the day in, so that will lead to a bit more ambitious exits for me across the board here. Yeah. All right, over here. Thank you, good sir. If we break above here, if we get new higher highs right there, then I will move my stop into much more profit over here. So gonna give this some time to continue here. All right. Let's see. Is gold hanging on here? I know this isn't my type of trading, but maybe for some of you this was good enough. Kind of, yeah. All right. You got oil moving along here. I know this is starting to look like distribution. I just don't. The way the market traded lower with oil, it's not really convincing. I saw something earlier about the yen. Someone shared something about the yen. What's up, Duvan? How do you have so much faith? I always stress someone in the trade. Faith? I don't have faith. I have data. Yeah, it's not really faith. I just know what I know, and I know what's in my power. I know what's not. That's it. I've just seen it enough times to go, okay, cool. And then I don't care. I'm not attached with what the trade does. Like, what do I get every time I trade? That's not something that I really think about. I can't give that energy. Same thing with, like, the outcome doesn't determine whether I'm good at this or not every single, like, independently. Over time, for sure. Obviously, if you don't see growth, then you're not good at this, and you got to build your skills. But I'm not so obsessed about, like, each trade has to win, each trade has to go my way. That doesn't really Yeah. And then if you're stressed about the trade, then you're giving that one trade just too much energy. Like it has too much worth. But it also helps that I've probably taken like shit, dude. I don't know. That's a good question. I wonder how many trades have I executed. I'd say if I were to guess, and let's say I'm averaging, I don't know, we'll say 40 trades a month. That would say, let's just say 400. I'd say about like 5,000 trades, maybe. That seems like too little. I don't know. But I guess that makes a difference. Yeah, but still it stresses me out because you want to hit a target. I feel like you just didn't hear what I just said. But maybe it'll make sense eventually. I hope it does. I think you were here, but I don't know if you were listening. But yeah, that's just me being a dickhead. USD JPY is creating higher highs in the 4 hour, but I've been looking for sells. All right, so the yen, so 6J is flipped from USD JPY, right? So I'm going to look at 6J, but it's like the opposite of what you're seeing. Would I be looking for, so this is just continuously short term. Yeah, we're getting this making lower lows. So would I be looking for any positions here? I think the biggest move, what lured in quite a bit of money right here, was the yen right there. So go back to August 17th, yesterday. Go back to yesterday, all the way back to yesterday, London session. Oh, end of Asian session going into London. You kind of see it lure money in and then drop. And not only does it drop below, 5-minute structure, but we're trading well below the 15 as well. So, yeah, I like what's going on over here. Like this could look like a good opportunity. If you're looking back to this, how price was trading over here, right here, you kind of have the market start to work its way down before it starts to push. Maybe you get a reversal out of here, but I'm going to kind of focus on continuing the trend down to these imbalances over here. Yeah, so I'm going to focus on that. But looking at majors, I'm just kind of checking in here with everything else. Here you can kind of see where there was a lot, for example, with like NZD, there was a lot of resistance. You had some CPI movement here, and then the market is filling back into here. So look at where the market crashes. Here's where you start to see a huge crash. Does this only happen with NZD? Well, let's see. All right, this starts to spike down on Wednesday during Asian session, the 12th, so about 6 days ago. So you don't see that happen with the yen. You see a small version of this a little bit later with euro before it rallies even higher here. Don't see it with CAD futures, and pound, not really as well. So you have independent setups you can go take a look at with majors. And then what you can always do as well is, what do you have going on this week? So, for example, we have Australian red folder news, pound CPI. So this is a big one. Okay, I don't know how many of you trade London, but if you wanted to, okay, cool. There's some pretty big movement happening here soon with the pound. And if you ask me, like, here's a lot of the markets going up, up, up. This kind of looks like a distribution. So you have the market losing momentum, dropping, and you see the market kind of dip down right here. Here's the last push down before it just rallies aggressively, takes out these highs, and then makes this higher high. So to me, this looks like a great place for a buy for the pound right here. And there's news at 1 a.m. Central. So this could be a great place for some buy positions over here. I won't be up for this, but maybe some of you will. And then take this wherever it makes sense to you. So here is a potential idea with the pound for you. Let's see. Do you like the exit at 778 for MES? 7788. Oh, let's see. MES. 7788. Oh, way up here. Damn, boy. You're going for the holy. Oh my God. 11R. Is that enough, you think? Do you think that's enough profit, or? Well, let's see. I would feel content with taking this to like 77.55. But I want to see how the overall markets are looking when highs and structures starting to get taken out. So yeah, I just kind of want to see how everything collectively is moving forward. So I'm not really sure. I think I need more information to make a decision there. Mago, ¿tienes consejos para hacer un mejor backtesting o un mejor trader? Esas son pues dos cosas diferentes. ¿Entiendes inglés o solo español? Let's see here. Español, solo español. So he asked if I have any advice for backtesting and to be a better trader. Básicamente, para backtesting, prueba una cosa a la vez. Sea las salidas, las entradas, cómo manejas tu stop loss. Pero no te quedes en backtesting. Es lo más importante. No te quedes ahí. Si ves evidencia de algo y has visto como 50 operaciones, después de eso, que ahora ve y tienes que ejecutar esas cosas. Y no lo tienes que hacer con mucho capital, pero ve y hazlo, ejecútalo con demo. Y cuando ahí tienes evidencia igualmente de rentabilidad con eso, pues ahora lo traes a cuentas reales, a cuentas de fondeo. Pero no vivas en backtesting, ¿verdad? Es solo el primer paso. Y igualmente tampoco, no solo vivas en las entradas del backtesting. Las entradas es solo un elemento. Lo que tienes en la bitácora, eso es lo que más te va a ayudar. Esa es la información real. So he asked, what tips for backtesting and to be a better trader? And all I can say is, one, don't get caught up living only in the backtesting world. So use it to test one variable at a time, And then from there, you want to, once you're using one variable, you go from back testing, get 50 trades worth of ideas. And then if that is profitable, okay, go take it to a demo or a low stakes account. And then from there, okay, bring it into, your live account, funded account, whatever. But you don't want to just live there. And more importantly, you don't only want to focus on entries. Like, you got to test the whole part of the system, but only do it one at a time. All right. So, NQ getting further and further down to here, guys. Obviously, we can see that the market is bleeding out over here, and this is now trading closer and closer to this area that I have marked up. So it could either reject this little order block, or it could just trade a little bit further down. But I think that where it's at now is okay, like right around here. I'm going to trade this with less risk. I know it's the most bearish, but it's trading a higher time frame zone. So I do like that. And I think that we can get a big change here. So this is like less than half R for me, because it's going to end up risking just 215 here. So I'm going to take a small little stab at this guy here, and then let's see what happens. But basically, I'm trading the 1 hour time frame setup here for NQ. And this is where in the past, I have seen a shift in momentum, where all of a sudden we start getting, this starts driving forward quite a bit, and the entire market starts to make its move. So, wait, I actually think I just made a mistake. Hold on. I do think we mitigated earlier, so I may take this back real quick. So this dropped 81.5 points, and then it pumped up. Oh, shit. Okay, hold on. I'm actually going to exit this trade. Exiting this trade. Hold on. I'm going to have to take a small little loss here, but whatever. But okay, I just, for some reason, I neglected. But we already rejected out of here and then came right back down. So this had already mitigated. So that's on me. Maybe this still plays out, and if it does, whatever. But it's not a trade I should be in. So, yeah. I remember an alert went off, but I forgot why that alert went off, and I couldn't remember. I was like, why did I have an alert there? But it was the mitigation alert, which that should help you. Whenever you have alerts, definitely label them. Makes your life a lot easier, especially if you use alerts as often as I do over here. But yeah, we got the reversal already. So a 0.08 R loss for me right there, but hey, that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick check-in here with some of the stocks in play here. Netflix, good jump today, about just under 3%. So it's cruising here. Cruising. We got Adobe recovering yesterday's drop, back at like 265. Big winners on the day right now. We got Intuit continuing to get back to prices from earlier in the year. Duolingo bouncing back again after a crash from last week. Not a little minimal crash, but yeah, it's doing its thing. Chewy, Spotify, ripping. Spotify and Shopify both doing pretty well. Lulu. Intel with the biggest dump today. 7.9%. Absolute trash. Meta still struggling. It recovered almost, and then the highs were unmaintainable. So this was definitely a sell-off right there. Yeah, Meta, more than likely, I think Meta gets below 520. Okay, let's see. Just quick scan through. There was one alert that I got earlier. I think it was Klarna. Oh. Yo, look at this. Huge crash. Huge. Before I started scaling in, which we were at like 16 something, I talked about how I felt like there was a leftover position over here. We had seen Klarna basically spike down like right over here, and we had left a pretty big gap. Like we crashed down at like 14 and change, and then this thing started to just rip. So I was like, I wonder if we can get back here. And I thought maybe that wasn't going to be the case, but it looks like it still can. So either way, I'm with this. Like, well, we're well below the open of this, so this going down. You know, we've seen a drop of 70%. Sweet. This is one that I'm going to take an options play on this one for sure. Once we get under this 1483. Yeah, huge crash down today. Sweet. All right. Anyways, going back to indices, could I have held that one setup? Maybe, but just wasn't my trade for NQ. I could have definitely had I would have been in profit, but yeah, my rule, y'all know this is my rule, so it is what it is. And Dow holding up pretty well. It's squeezing quite a bit here. I do think there's a possibility that we maybe see it poke down one more time to take out some of this liquidity that's brewing up right here. So I'm going to keep my stop open a little bit here just in case it wants to crash into this and then rally. But if we break above here, then I will go and move my stop over here. So conservative exits would be here at 53,588, and then the bigger exit here would be pushing to the New York high at 53,722. That would be more of a 3.96 risk reward. Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Well, what am I announcing? Am I announcing that I'm announcing? When is the announcement? Tomorrow? All right, guys. So some of you have been there. Laughing disco for two. I don't know what that means. But some of you have gone to some of our tradecations in the past, whether it was in Colombia, Puerto Rico, a whole bunch of other cool places. And many of you have been asking when the next one is. And so we officially have a date and a place. So tomorrow we will be letting you guys know. We'll be sharing where it's going to be. And we're super hyped for you guys. So if you want to travel to some of the coolest parts of the world, then definitely make sure you're here tomorrow. These kinds of experiences are basically everything is set up for you so that you have no headaches, like you just show up and have the best time of your life. We will trade in the mornings or in the evenings depending on where we're going. And anyways, so if you want to have the dopest tradecation in 2027, then click that link right there so that you join the list so that you get all notifications regarding this. We're going to announce where it is tomorrow, and then we're going to be hosting a webinar to kind of walk you guys through what it looks like and all the details with it. definitely something that you can do with a homie, significant other, whatever. Yeah, the last one we did was really a blast, but the place that we're going to is a place that's really special to us, one of our favorite places in the world, and we got to really, really explore it with this type of experience in mind. So anyways, check that out, guys. It's going to be a blast. And so click the link, join the list so you have access and you get reminders and you don't miss anything about them. All right, guys. So take care, y'all. Keep managing this trade accordingly if you're in it. And yeah, I hope all goes well. So much love, y'all. Grateful for you, and see you again. Some syndicate, I will see you this evening. Fast track, you guys have another session tomorrow. And for everybody else, I will see you tomorrow morning. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and doing all the YouTube stuff. I'll catch you guys later.
I see you standing at the front of the line, waiting for something I can't make out. But I wanna talk to you, to pull you aside. I wanna ask you to come with me tonight.